School Games is using the power of the Olympic and Paralympic Games, which are taking place in London 2012, to inspire pupils across the country to take advantage of the opportunities to participate, to take part in competition, and hopefully to enable those young people to develop a number of skills and talents where they can go on to have healthy lifestyles. And of course, we hope some of these young athletes will be really switched on from taking part in sport and fulfill their potential, and maybe one day go on and represent our country at an Olympic or Paralympic Games.
You ready for me? What?
This is a fantastic opportunity for young people. It's well overdue to get young people taking part in intra-school competition and sport to find out how good they are. They get the opportunity of going for a selection process where they can represent their school, coming together in a regional competition and seeing how talented they are against other young people from other schools around the surrounding areas.
It's about inspiring youngsters. You know, when I went to one of my first competitions, very similar to this, just not as big, School Games, I think I come 5th or 6th in nearly every event. But it wasn't about winning at that stage, and it's not about winning at this stage for these youngsters. If they do win, brilliant, they come away with medals. But it's about inspiration, it's about setting that dream target or setting them off on that little spark that might just ignite and they could go and follow a sport. That'd be awesome.
The School Games are all about taking the 2012 Olympics, using that as an inspiration to get young people involved in sport in lots and lots of different ways. It's to take young volunteers, get them involved if they're not actually involved in the sports themselves, but it's also about developing a competition framework so that young people know that it's not just a one-off event, that 2012 is going to leave us a legacy of school sports competition that will last well beyond the Olympic Games themselves. So for example, we're going to have level 1 competitions, which are intra-school competitions, so children will compete against each other. That'll progress through to level 2 events, where schools will compete against other schools to qualify for an event like today, which is a Tyne level 3 event. So the best children from the regions in each of those sports get to come together to celebrate sport and to compete against each other.
Tyne School Games this year has incorporated 14 different sports over 2 different venues, 62 schools, 150 volunteers and over 1,000 young people have taken part in sports such as volleyball, netball, athletics, swimming, golf, basketball, wheelchair basketball, table tennis, rugby league and rugby union. The benefits of School Games is about giving everybody a chance to shine, for young people finding their level. School Games organisers rules are to try and manage that level of competition, so it's relevant competition for young people. So whether you've done it for 10 years or you've just started, we can find the right level of competition to compete and get benefits such as enjoyment and generally being the best that you can be, whether that's winning or just finding your own personal best. There's 2 ways young people got involved. One is by being a competitor, so they've qualified this year from a district or level 2 competition from Newcastle, Sunderland, South Tyneside, North Tyneside or Gateshead. Young people have been involved have been volunteers who've had specific sports volunteers who've worked and been trained up by national and governing bodies to work with them. And the other young people involved are event volunteers who've got involved with managing the overall logistics of arranging an event, delivering it, coordinating and evaluating it.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity, especially in Tyne and Weir, to be able to pilot these games, and hope that next year it's just going to get better and bigger, and hopefully it's going to attract even more youngsters. And what we'll find is the more we hold it, the longer we hold it, and the better we get at doing it, the better the standard will be of the young people who are participating across the schools.
They get involved in school games next academic year by their school needs to sign up to school games, and you go to your school games website, sign up, and there's a whole host of things they can do to help develop sport within their school, become a volunteer, become a competitor. Failing that, they need to speak to their local school games organisers. There'll be 11 people in position across Tyne and Weir next year, and they'll be the people who are tasked with making sure level 1, level 2 and level 3 competitions happen. So they just need to go on the website or challenge their teacher to make sure they're taking part in the sports that they want to get involved in.
We're trying to inspire young people to participate in as many different sports as possible and to sustain that partnership. And from grassroots sport, Olympians will eventually emerge, because sport has the power to transform lives and inspire them to take up and compete as best as they can.
And the aim is from this pilot to grow, and then next year the best kids from taking part in these school games will hopefully have the opportunity of going down to London and competing in the Olympic Stadium before the actual Olympics begin in 2012. So it's a fantastic opportunity to inspire young people to connect with Olympic and Paralympic Games and hopefully formulate dreams and aspirations to be the best that they can be.
The whole of the sporting event has taken over Ravenswood completely. So we're now scrabbling to get everything else done at the end of term, because all the children and a lot of our staff have been so infused by it. And we've got kids that are taking part that really have never done sport before and not at a competitive level, that have been inspired to take part. And some children were quite worried at first about taking part and have seen everybody else and have been fired up, and we're now full of enthusiasm and we can't wait to next year. And next year the whole term is just going to be Olympics.